that kind of opened my eyes to, something's going on. We're out walking. He's like, hey, by the way, it's a secret. He said, we're all dirty. We all move boxes.
I've long said that I think the most likely conviction against Trump comes in the Mar-a-Lago documents case. I mean, from him actually moving the documents to lying about having them and showing them off, to me, it sounds like a pretty open and shut case. Well, now a former Trump employee has came forward with some more massive bombshells, further exposing Trump in this situation, seemingly making it even worse, as he actually is one of the people that unknowingly handled and moved these classified documents from Mar-a-Lago, which even further shows Trump's willingness to just use people however he sees fit to get what he wants. Listen to this man explain how he unknowingly loaded what turned out to be highly classified documents after being hired through his driving service.
I texted him, hey, I'm on my way. He followed me. He pulled out and got behind me. We got to the airport. I ended up loading all the luggage I had, and he had a bunch of boxes.
You noticed that he had boxes?
Oh, yeah. They were the boxes that were in the indictment, the white banker's boxes. That's what I remember loading.
And did you have any idea at the time that there was potentially U.S. national security secrets in those boxes?
No clue. No, I had no clue. I mean, we were just taking them out of the Escalade, piling them up. I remember they were all stacked on top of each other, and then we're lifting them up to the pilots.
How many boxes was it?
They asked me in the interview, and I believe it was 10 to 15 is what I remember. I know
They being
was
the investigators.
Correct.
And when you look back on that now, what do you...
Well, I had no clue until probably the end of June. There was a few different things that happened that kind of opened my eyes to, something's going on here.
So for a little context before we go forward, this man ran a car service and was best friends with Carlos Oliveira, a property manager for Trump at Mar-a-Lago, who reached out to him on Trump's direction to hire him to transport these documents or luggage, as he told the person, for the president. This was when the FBI was going to be meeting Trump's attorneys at Mar-a-Lago to see if he had any of these documents. So of course he had to transport them to New York, which again just adds to the criminal nature and is the difference here between Trump and other presidents in these instances in which documents have been taken from the White House, where they came forward and cooperated and did everything they could to get the documents back. Trump seemingly wanted to do everything he can, going as far to actually move the documents from one location to another while saying, oh, I never even had them, in hopes to just keep them in his possession. And remember, these are top secret, highly classified documents, might I add. And it was like 8 times the amount that's ever been involved in something like this. I know for the longest time, he would be like, Hillary needs to be locked up for her emails. Well, he had where she had 8, he had 62.
A little bit later, you get a call from Carlos telling you that Walt is coming to Mar-a-Lago.
It was actually, we live literally 30 seconds from each other.
Your neighbors.
We're neighbors. So we would always go walk. And just on the walk, I remember him saying, hey, by the way, Walt's coming tomorrow. Oh, cool. That's great. I was like, okay. It wasn't until the following day when we're out walking, he's like, hey, by the way, it's a secret. Don't tell anybody Walt's coming. And well, why? Well, he needs me to find something out before he gets here. Oh, what's that? He needs me to, how long the camera footage is saved at Mar-a-Lago. And I'm like, well, that's odd. Why do you need the camera footage? Why do you need to know how long it's saved? And his response was, I think they're looking for somebody that was there. I said, oh.
Now, this part is especially crucial because Carlos is indicted right now for lying to federal investigators about this, because it's actually shown that he spoke to multiple employees about Trump directing him to have the servers wiped of this exact security footage. And now this man also corroborates him trying to get the security footage, because obviously that footage would show these people transporting the luggage and those white boxes of classified documents.
Brian, good morning. My name is John Rowley. I'm one of the lawyers representing President Trump. It's my understanding that you got a grand jury subpoena. Would you please give me a call at your first opportunity?
Did you ever call that attorney back?
No. I sent it to my attorney and let him handle it.
Were you feeling pressured to stay in Trump's world?
Carlos and I were very close, as was previously reported. There was a golf tournament. Carlos oh, let me get you tickets. Or I'm sure the boss would love to see you. You know, in my mind, you know, I would not step foot in any of his properties again. You know, the attorney, I think there was a lot of pressure there, I feel. It got brought up multiple times. You know, he mentioned to me, why didn't you call him back? It's going to cost you a lot of money. I mean, you should see my attorney bills that I get. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I said, I'm okay.
This is textbook narcissistic tendencies. I'm sorry. I mean, the lengths that Trump will go to make sure that those within his orbit feel indebted to him or just under his control is crazy. His aim was to get this man a Trump lawyer so he can have some control or influence over what he says, or at least he'll have that inside ear to know what his plans are. Get him these gifts, make him feel like, we appreciate you so much, so he feels indebted to him, and like, oh, he's helping me so much. He got me the employee, he's giving me all these gifts, and he would be less likely to give out information that might incriminate him then, because he'd be like, oh, you know, he cares a lot about me. I imagine that Trump was furious, probably just punching the air all over and ready to go on Truth Social and rant when this guy was not just going to be reined in like everybody else.
Did he ever imply to you that he might be in trouble?
He said everything will be fine, that kind of attitude. I never... Maybe a couple times I saw him maybe a little nervous, but overall, I think he feels like this is going to go away.
Did the two of you ever talk about moving boxes or looking back on that?
Yeah, I mean, there was one time towards one of the last times I was with him, and we're talking about, you know, boxes and, you know, well, Biden did the same thing. You know, you can't get... It always got brought up about Biden and other people that did the same thing. And then there was one time he said, you know, we're all dirty, we all move boxes. And I said, well, look, I didn't even know what I was moving until I was at the plane, and that's when I remember moving boxes.
And that's just a whataboutism that represents a fallacy, because generally you would use something like this to assert, well, they did wrong too, as in we're both bad. But what Trump and his team and supporters and MAGA likes to do is, we're not doing anything wrong, we're all in the good, but look at what this guy did. Ha, Uno reverse card, they're the ones doing bad. But it's clear the differences. Special counsel have looked into both Trump and Biden and only found possible criminal intent with Trump. I mean, he spoke about having them, then told the FBI he didn't know that he had them, but now it's coming out he was instructing multiple employees to move the documents, tried to have security footage wiped that would prove that he had these people move the documents. It's obvious that this was a scheme concocted by his direction that he was pointing his little cronies to go and do in hopes to keep these top secret and highly classified documents, which is a clear-cut crime. That's why I think it's open and shut, and it's for good reason too. With how Russia was proven to have interfered in the 2016 campaign in ways that benefited Trump, who knows if these were going to pay back a debt, or who knows whose hands that these would have ended up in, or why he was really this obsessed, would go to this level to keep these highly classified government secrets. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.